Story time with Zybak.
So today I go over to Best Buy to pick up some HD component cables for my Xbox because I had the HDMI cable and that doesn't work with my HD PVR. So I go to the Xbox section, get out my HD component cables, get them off the shelf, and I look over to my right. And at the TV section, I see these four ridiculously hot, smoking chicks, mini skirts, low-cut tops. They look like playmates, so I head over to the TV section, pretend to look at TVs, get a closer look. And I realize that these four girls are with this old man in a wheelchair. And I found that a little bit interesting. So I just look at TVs for a bit. Eventually the four chicks go off and go look at something else. So it's just me and the old guy. And I walk over to the old guy and I go, "That's quite a crew you've got there." And he looks up at me and smiles and he goes, "Yeah, they're great, aren't they?" And I ask him if they're his grandkids or something just to be polite. And he looks at me and just laughs. And he goes, "No, those are my caretakers." Now, generally, people that have caretakers, they have one caretaker. It's like a woman in their 40s that couldn't be a nurse or something like that. Not four women in their 20s that wear mini skirts and low-cut tops. So I give him this kind of sarcastic grin because I know that's a little bit bullshit, obviously. And he gives me a big ass grin. And then he says one of the greatest things I've ever heard. He goes, "I've worked hard my entire life, and I think it's about time I enjoy the fruits of my labor. Because I know one day I'm going to die in this chair, my head's going to roll back, but at least the last thing I'm going to see is an amazing pair of tits." And regardless of how vulgar and inappropriate that was, that's one of the greatest things I've ever heard, because this old man is enjoying the rest of his life. He only has a few years left. He's probably in his 80s, yeah, probably 80s. And he's worked hard his entire life, probably had a, pretty hard life. The way I could just kind of see it in him that he probably worked really hard his entire life. He was wheelchair bound. I doubt he was wheelchair bound his entire life, but he was a guy, worked hard his entire life, and he's okay with the fact that he's gonna die, but he's gonna enjoy the rest that he's got, and I found that to be pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think.